Hello friends, welcome again. Friends, first of all, let me congratulate all you students of the first semester that you have successfully cleared your exam of your first semester. And then I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this second semester. Friends, before we start the study of these papers of second semester, I am just going to give you some basic introductory idea about the syllabus that you are going to study in this semester, semester number 2, Saurashtra University. Friends, you know that just like your previous semester, in this semester also, as far as English is concerned, you are going to study 3 papers of English language and literature. Number 1, you will study foundation course in English, okay, which is also popularly known as compulsory English. Then, in previous semester, you studied paper number 1 and 2. So, in this semester, in continuation, you are going to study paper number 3 and 4 of your special English subject. Okay, now let's have a look at the syllabus. First of all, I'll talk about foundation course in English. As far as this course is concerned, the text that you are going to study, as you can see here on the screen, is images. This is the title of the text which you have to study in foundation course in English, images, a handbook of stories, right? This is a collection of some short stories. I think story number 1 to 5 you studied in your previous semester. So from the same book, story number 6 to 10 you are going to study in this semester, semester number 2. Apart from this text, you will also study a portion of grammar and composition. Okay, in grammar particularly we will focus on modal auxiliary verbs. You know that there are different types of verbs: primary lexical verbs, auxiliary verbs. Lexical verbs again of 2 types: regular lexical verb and irregular lexical verb. Okay, auxiliary verbs are of 2 types: primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. So in this semester the focus will be on the study of modal auxiliary verbs like can, could, may, might, should, would, dare, need, used to. These are some modal auxiliaries. You will study how to use them in your sentences. Okay, apart from modal auxiliaries, here you will also study vocabulary. Here the focus will be on synonyms. Okay, synonyms means samanarth. Okay, and synonyms and antonyms and one word substitution, right? So these are the 3 things in vocabulary. And then third topic in language portion you will study in this foundation course is the information transfer from visual to verbal. I mean, some picture is given to you and you will be able, after studying this topic, you will be able to transfer some information from visual to verbal. That means after having a look at the picture, you will be able to note down some information in the written form. Okay, so it is visual to written form. So data transfer from pictures to notes. Okay, so these 3 topics you will study in grammar and composition. Which 3 topics? Modal auxiliaries can, could, may, might, should, would. Vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms and one word substitution, and information transfer from visual to the written form. Okay, Saurashtra University has given the specific list of synonyms for your reference, for your study. So you can prepare all these words and their synonyms. As you can see here on the screen, okay, these are the 50 synonyms which you have to prepare from your examination point of view. Apart from synonyms, you need to prepare the antonyms, right? Antonyms means the opposite words, right? So ability is disability, right? So this is antonym. So here again 50 antonyms you have to prepare from examination point of view, right? Now let's move ahead for the next paper, that is paper number 3. In your previous semester you studied paper 1 and 2, and in this semester, as far as your major subject English is concerned, you are going to study paper number 3 and 4. Okay, paper number 3, the title of this paper is English Literature up to 1660. That means in this paper the focus, the concentration is mainly on the English literature which was written before 1660, right? So here what you will study, let's have a look. Here the text which is prescribed to you by Saurashtra University is The Merchant of Venice. Oh, such a fantastic comedy, fantastic tragic comedy written by the greatest dramatist of English literature, William Shakespeare, right? You will enjoy studying this drama, this tragedy comedy. It is a mixture of tragedy and comedy, The Merchant of Venice, right? So this is a play. Apart from this play, in unit number 1, you will study some history portion. You will study what is Renaissance. Renaissance is a movement which you find in English literature during the 16th century. So you will study this movement of Renaissance. You will study chorus. What is chorus? What are the functions of chorus? You will study what is dramatic design. What is romantic comedy? What are the features or elements of romantic comedy? In unit number 2, you will study the definition of metaphysical poetry, the elements or characteristics of metaphysical poetry, and then you will study university wits also in unit number 2. University wits, friends, was a group of writers who lived in England during the 16th century. So you will study their contribution to English literature. In unit number 3, you will study 2 different types of comedy. Comedy of humors and comedy of manners. You will study the definitions of these comedies. You will study different characteristics of these comedies, and you will also study the major writers of these 2 types of comedy, right? So one play, The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare, and all these things, Renaissance, chorus, dramatic design, romantic comedy, metaphysical poetry, university wits, comedy of manners, and comedy of humors. This is your paper number 3. Now let's move ahead for paper number 4. Paper number 4, the title of this paper is Metaphysical Poetry, right? So this is one type of poetry which we are going to study in this paper. Okay, let's have a look at what you will exactly study in this paper. In this paper, paper number 4, the text which is prescribed to you by Saurashtra University is The Winged Bird. Okay, The Winged Bird, edited by David Green. This book is actually a collection of some poems. Okay, there are some hundreds of poems in this particular book, but you are not going to study all poems, but a university has asked you to study 10 poems from this book, and the list of these 10 poems you can see here on the screen. These all 10 poems, friends, are metaphysical poetry, right? They are metaphysical poems written by three great metaphysical poets of English literature, and they are John Donne, George Herbert, and Andrew Marvell. Okay, so you will study John Donne's contribution to metaphysical poetry by studying some of his poems. You will also study George Herbert and Andrew Marvell's contribution to this metaphysical poetry. So 10 poems by these three poets, and apart from this you will also study some important poetic devices or figures of speech. What figures of speech? Because there are hundreds of figures of speech in English poetry, but here the focus is on alliteration. I think you studied this in your previous semester also. Okay, alliteration, simile, metaphor, personification, paradox, conceit, apostrophe, synecdoche, hyperbole, and metonymy. Right, so these are 10 figures of speech or poetic devices you will study in this paper number 4. So 10 metaphysical poems by three great poets and 10 poetic devices. This is your paper number 4. So friends, I hope your whole syllabus is clear to you now. If you have any doubts or questions, do write to me in the comment section of this channel. Thank you very much, and wish you all the very best for your further studies. Thank you.